Honestly, I was one of the main ones talking about you can sleep when it's all over. I was so sold out on the hustle culture, I thought that hustling was the only way that you could experience forward progress. Now, you see, I don't know if you've ever looked up the definition of hustle, but I did. And I also looked up the definition of ease and flow, because in these 51 years, that's the direction I'm going. Experiencing forward progress, yes, with ease and with flow. It is possible, it is achievable, it is doable. Matter of fact, I achieved more when I adopted and owned the ease and flow method as opposed to the hustle culture. Here's the definition of hustle: force to move, obtained by force, busy movement and activity. I'm not in my busy season anymore. I'm operating in my forward progress season. And I know for sure I can do it with ease and flow. Matter of fact, I'm owning the ease and flow life. Here's the definitions of ease: absence of difficulty, make less serious or severe, facilitate. So in other words, you're facilitating your success. You're facilitating your forward progress. You're facilitating that space of living your manifested desires. And to flow is to move along steadily and continuously. It's steady, continuous stream. So here's you living your manifested desires or your desired end result. How do you get there? You get there through a continuous state of forward progress. You can hustle your way there by force, which oftentimes isn't sustainable, because that's when you're doing those 20-hour days and burning yourself out. Not everybody, but hustle by nature means force or busy movement. Or you can find the path of ease and flow. I found the path and I'm going to show it to you. So access the ease and flow life by asking yourself these 3 clarity-rich quality questions. Here's the first one. What's my desired end result? You got to know with crystal clarity where you're headed. Second, what's my STAG? Your STAG is your strengths, talents, abilities, and gifting. Don't make this a big thing. What are you good at? What are you naturally at? What's a natural skill that you're pretty good at? Proficiency in a particular area. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a dreamer. Maybe you are a coach. Maybe you are good at motivating people. Maybe you are good at speaking, whatever that is. Strengths, talents, abilities, and gifting. That's your STAG. Third question, in what ways shall I, can I, am I allowing my STAG to forward progress me to my desired end result? This right here is one of the best questions you could ever ask yourself if you want to operate in the space of ease and flow. You see, when you're operating in this space of ease and flow, it's like you're in genius zone. You're, as they say, you're in the zone. You're feeling things. You lose track of time. Sometimes you forget to eat. Things are flowing with you. Yes, you have to do some work, but there's a different work that you do when you're in your genius zone. It feels different. It resonates inside and out. You move different. You feel the movement different. That's why they call it the genius zone. More genius zone, less hustle culture. So for you to access the genius zone, you've got to recognize that you're staggy. You've got to know that you have STAG within you. You've got to be willing to allow your STAG to spring forward. You've got to stop dimming your light. You've got to stop letting others dim your light. You've got to stop minimizing something just because you're great at it. If you're great at teaching and people have told you everybody's saying you're so good at teaching, you help me break down complex things and it's so simple. Don't minimize that. That's part of your STAG. If people tell you you're such a great listener, when I talk to you, I just feel safe. That's part of your STAG. If you can draw something, an interpretation of something, that's part of your STAG. If you can listen to something and you can get on the piano or get on your guitar or your saxophone, that's part of your STAG. Don't minimize your STAG because it's easy for you to do. It's supposed to be easy. It's not easy for everybody else. Don't judge the way how easy it is for you to do it and assuming it's easy for us. It's not. You have to understand it's your genius, not ours. We have our own genius. So when you recognize that, stop minimizing it and stand in it. Realize that that's part of the makeup. There's a saying that I say often: the wealth you seek is in your gifting. And as long as you minimize your gifting, you minimize your wealth. But when you begin to maximize your gifting, when you begin to embrace your gifting, when you begin to utilize your gifting, you begin to embrace wealth. You begin to welcome wealth. You begin to experience the lifestyle that wealth supports and provides for you. You want to be wealthy? Operate in your STAG. You see, the path to your ease and flow is in the realization, the utilization, and the facilitation of operating in your STAG. You've got to be willing to acknowledge that it exists and embrace it strongly, embrace it fully, embrace it completely, and then ask yourself, how might I marry my STAG with the fulfillment of my desired end result? It's there to help you accomplish it. It's there to facilitate. And when you're operating in your STAG, it doesn't feel like hustle. It doesn't feel like force. It feels like joy. It feels like happiness. It feels like with ease and flow. You have the opportunity to experience progress with ease and flow. Now, I know some of y'all are going to have those thoughts that come up that say, it should be harder than this. It should be harder than this. This seems too easy. Seems too good to be true. Yeah, because most people won't operate in their STAG. Most of us have lived a hustle hard life because we operate in a hustle hard culture. You've got to be willing. Remember I said earlier, willingness. You've got to have the willingness to understand that is a learned behavior. That's not natural. That's not the natural way of being. That is a learned behavior and a celebrated behavior. You can be celebrated externally by the hustle, and then internally you're downtrodden, you're defeated, you're deflated, ready to give up. Your emotional intelligence is waving, ebbing in and out. Yeah, you're constantly on the edge of giving up. You can do that. But there's a better way. There's a more aligned way. You see, when you align yourself, your system, which is your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, your choices, and the decisions you make, when you align them with your highest self, your highest evolved self, your joyous you, when you're operating in your joy, you're operating in your STAG and your gifting. You're experiencing life more fully, the fullness of it and the richness of it, because you're in your genius zone. And when you align your thoughts and your words and your feelings with that space of genius, you position yourself for actions that you take that create forward progress, for choices that you position yourself for that create forward progress, for decisions that aren't fear-based, that aren't, I'm afraid this is going to happen, so I better try to do this or not do this, but instead in a space of inviting. Again, the wealth you seek is in your gifting. So when you operate in this ease and flow, which means you're operating in your STAG, in your genius, you invite experiences for fulfillment, fullness, and forward progress. So you're at a space now where you got to be willing to unlearn the hustle culture and learn ease and flow. And by learning ease and flow, I really mean make the decision. I accept my life with ease and flow. I experience forward progress with ease and with flow. You're standing at a crossroads right here. Continue to hustle, 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 burn yourself out, or experience steady, continuous, amazing, incredible growth. It's the difference between the old world way and the new world. Old world way of processing, new world. You're there. You're standing there. What have you decided? That determines your destiny.